Hey everybody, just for context, the reason I'm doing this is because of a Sly Cooper challenge I did on stream. So if you want to go see that, you can, but it's like 5 hours of content. I will condense it and post that on my channel later in time, but right now school's kicking my ass. I've had 3 exams this week, so it might be a bit, but yeah, I hope you enjoy this. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. 28.7 miles, and I'm doing it all in one sitting. We have everything we need from foods to fluids, so let's get started. Like always, I started walking to warm my legs up, and I really wanted to take my time with this warm up because this challenge is going to be all about pacing myself. Now you may be wondering, Henny, what took you so long? Well, I went on a fishing trip. Yep, look at that beautiful brown trout. There was school stuff too, but it was mainly this. Anyways, I cracked open the energy drink, Mango Fuego, which tasted amazing, but I got a little scared when the drink started to burn my throat. Turns out, I wasn't having an allergic reaction, the drink was supposed to be spicy, which I should have known from the fiery logo and the little peppers on the can. But hey, caffeine is caffeine, and it gave me the boost I needed to start my first jog. I started at a 6 mile an hour pace, but I found that too easy, so we bumped it up to 7. And here's mile 1 of 28. Hooray! And of course, like last time, I had to slow down after 2 miles. This is a great time to let you know that I am not much of a runner. In fact, I've spent most of my life pretty sedentary, so this is going to be way outside of what I'm used to. While I was still walking, I started sipping from this devilish delight again. The burning was really not helping the respiratory aspect of things, but I figured I could suffer through it for the energy boost. I also got these Gatorade bars, which were extremely important for longevity. I chose this brand because I got the most value for it compared to the other protein bars at the store, but also because they were pretty high in calories, which were going to be absolutely necessary for this amount of running. I'm going to be keeping a calorie count later in this video, so you see just how much energy I burned during my time on this treadmill. Here we are at about 4 miles in, and I decided to dig into the first protein bar. This is the mint flavored one, and let me tell you, it was pretty darn good. I mean, protein bars can be pretty hit or miss, but I was thoroughly enjoying this one, honestly. It reminded me of a Girl Scout cookie. Looking back, I'm not sure if eating the protein bars so early on was a great idea, but in my head, I figured I should try to replenish my energy as I lose it, rather than try to save it for later. I also finished the energy drink from hell before finishing out my first hour. Woo! Now, when I say first hour, the treadmill only lets me run for an hour at a time. So I had to write down all of my stats hour by hour to keep track of everything. And in case you couldn't tell from my amazing cinematography, the stats for this first hour were a little over 5 miles and 612 calories. Now, I had a little oopsie during my second hour where I paused the treadmill to go get water and I didn't get back in time, so it erased all my stats. But luckily I snapped this picture and noticed I had 35 minutes left, and I remembered being about 2 miles in. So I made half an entry before starting the treadmill back up, and then I would make the other half of the entry after 35 minutes. And then I would just restart the treadmill to start the third hour. It was at this point I started to track how many gallons of water I was drinking. So my water bottle holds 64 ounces slash 1.89 liters slash half a gallon. So each time I refilled my water bottle, I would mark it down. And just like that, it was time for protein bar number 2. This one was chocolate pretzel, and it was also the one I was most excited for, which is why I saved it for last. And I was right. It was amazing. After that, we finished hour 2 after 35 minutes and logged our miles. And it looks like I didn't record anything for hour 3, so here's the end of that too. Now after hour 3, I took a good long rest because I had been moving practically non-stop for 3 hours straight. And while my legs felt fine and my feet were only hurting a little bit, the joint where my femur inserts into my pelvis was starting to hurt on both sides. So I decided a 10-minute break would be a good idea before beginning hour 4. Now you may be thinking, Henny, why didn't you just do multiple shorter sessions instead of running a marathon? Because this makes better content? Also, the main reason I'm doing this is to prepare for basic training in the military, which involves long sessions of running. So this challenge was less about how many miles I could run and more about how far could I push myself mentally and physically. Hour 4 was when my mileage really started to tank. I was running a lot less, walking a lot more, and I started to hurt even more in my joints. The pain would get so bad I had to press the pause button on the treadmill every once in a while just to stretch and rest in the middle of my session, which proved to be pretty stupid of me because I wasn't paying attention during one of these breaks and the treadmill reset. So I had to split hour 4 in the same way I did hour 2. By the end of this 4th hour, my acetabulums were killing me, and even the muscles on my inner and outer thighs started seizing up. I never once considered using one of those machines at the gym, but I wish I had because they really would have helped for this. Hours 5 and 6 were just a blur of pain and misery. The backs of my knees, where my calves meet my hamstrings, were absolutely killing me, and I was gripping the handlebars of the treadmill for dear life because I could barely hold myself up anymore. I had no energy left, everything was sore, and I was practically limping towards the finish line. Keep in mind that I did this entire challenge without any music or podcasts or TV shows, nothing. 6 hours of me and my thoughts, which wasn't that bad until these last couple of hours where everything slowed to an absolute crawl, and all I could focus on was the pain. But that's not even the most tragic part. Listen guys, I couldn't complete all 28.7 miles in time. The gym closed at 11 o'clock, and it was 10, and I still had a little over 4 miles to go. I knew I couldn't limp along fast enough to make it in time, and I didn't want to stay right up until close and have the workers tell me to leave. So at 10 o'clock, I packed up my things and left. Our totals came out to 24.25 miles, which means we'll start the next stream with 4.45 miles on the board already, about 2,563 calories burned, and about 1.5 gallons or 5.68 liters of water drank. I stumbled out to my car, sat down, and felt this surreal sense of peace. Sure, I didn't reach my goal. Heck, I couldn't even finish a marathon. But I gave a damn good effort. And as I drove home, listening to Leve in the car, I couldn't help but feel accomplished. That night was more peaceful than most.